Which sword is actually the strongest sword in Bloxroot? Many of you guys might think it's the CDK for its long range and its amazing stun, but to be fair, the body sword actually has a longer range than the CDK, so this couldn't be true. Either way, let's go ahead and take a look at all these form factors. First of all, we have to look at the AoE of the sword. As an example, the bigger the damage is on the sword and the more hitboxes it can reach, of course the better the sword it will be. Then of course the damage itself, the sword itself has to do a big damage and it needs to be easy to hit. And then the third one, the skill set. Skill set means, is it a short range weapon or is it a long range weapon? Now either way, there are only 3 swords that can reach in this top 3. One of them of course being the CDK. It has this Z move, which can basically go ahead and form a giant tornado and launch enemies far away or even hold them into a stun. Of course, the X move is very known for its wait time, even though it takes a while to actually charge up. But still, once it's released, you can go really far away and you can hit enemies from really far. Now either way, what's the next sword, you might ask? Of course Darkblade has to become mentioned. Why? Because it's one of the best, no matter what happens actually. First of all, the X move is very simple. You have 2 features of it. The first one, which goes very slow, as you can see. But then its second form is something really different. Watch what happens if you hold it. As you can see, this is now a lot faster, which means it could be a lot more efficient in PvP. The same goes for the Z move. When you hold it, you sprint forwards. Not holding it basically just means you push the circle further. Of course, we cannot forget the true triple katana, TTK, most known meta sword possible in the Bloxroot history. For the X move, which can basically form a giant tornado, capture multiple enemies in it, or of course its Z move, dealing massive amounts of damage, but still keeping people into stun, which could of course lead to Sanguine Z. The most common set is actually the one that I have right now, TTK, Portal, Soul Guitar, and Sanguine Art itself. But of course, many people use it with God Human or Sharkman Karate or even any other, melee. Of course, now, these are all my personal opinions. Let me know down in the comments below which sword you think is actually the number 1.